There's nothing quite like a homemade loaf of bread, and today I'm going to show you how to make a classic loaf of bread, take the fear out of it. It is really, really simple. There are 4 key ingredients. You need strong white bread flour, water, that is the core of your loaf of bread, salt and yeast. That is it. It's so simple. I'm actually going to show you a recipe for a very large loaf of bread because who wants to eat a small one? Because once it's come out of the oven, it will go really quickly. So I've got 600 grams of strong white bread flour. Just make sure it's a strong white bread flour. It has more gluten in it. It binds it. It is the protein within flour that gives it that elasticity. Then I have got one of these sachets of yeast. These are brilliant. You can get loads of different varieties. I do actually really like the Allinson's brands of flour and yeast, but I'm not advertising them particularly. I've got 2 teaspoons of fine table salt and 400 mils of tepid water. Then it's literally simple. You knead and rest, you knead and rest again, and then you bake it. So the first knead and rest is you knead it for about 10 minutes, you rest it for about an hour and a half, somewhere warm. The next one, quick knead. Then the final rest is just to prove. So it's sort of like a 15-20 minute rest whilst you're heating your oven. Then bake it. It is that easy. So 600 grams of flour, chuck everything in the bowl, literally. Put the yeast and the salt in, put in the water. Initially, don't use your hands initially because they'll just be glued up together with all the water and the flour. Initially, mix it together, and then once you've got that, make sure your worktop is clean and you're going to knead it. And then rest it back in the bowl. Bring all those things together. If it's a little bit dry, add a bit more water. If the dough is a little bit wet, add a bit more flour. It is really that simple, and you can just change the quantities as well. For a big loaf, I often make these into a plat, great showstopper. Serve with some baked camembert, or put some rosemary and oil and garlic in your bread. You can make all sorts, but let's just stick with the classic. Here's your dough. Knead it for 10 minutes. I'm just going to show you quickly. On a clean, please make sure your table is clean. I have just scrubbed this one. Bring it all together. For kneading, you're getting your fingers, I'll show you. You're getting your fingers, you're bringing half it over and then you're moving it to your palm to push it away. Then you would turn it, you would lift it, palm it. This is what you're doing on the flat surface. You're bringing it in with your fingers, you're pushing it away with your palm. And you're spinning it round as you're doing that. So you're bringing it in. Anyway, after your 10 minutes of kneading, it should be really nice dough. You're breaking down those gluten proteins in that strong white bread flour. I'm just going to give you a demo. I will do this for 10 minutes, but then you'll have a nice dough. You put it back in your bowl, cover it with a tea towel, pop it somewhere warm like an airing cupboard, leave it for an hour and a half, it'll have doubled, and you do it again. Same process, shorter amount of time, pop it in the oven.